Well, George, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thanks
I
for having
appreciate
me.
you answering my DM and making the time. And so tell me a little bit about, just for the audience and for me as well, since this is the first time we've really met. I know just from your Instagram and some things I've been told, some of the extreme feats that you put yourself through and different things like that, which I think people will find really interesting. But just tell me a little bit about yourself and what you enjoy, what you do for a career, and then we can go from there, I think.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, kind of grew up here in Arizona, out in Queen Creek. I grew up racing motocross. Like that was my passion. That was kind of like we had my sister and we had to pick a sport. Like starting out younger, it's like, oh, I want to play soccer, I want to do football, I want to do basketball, I want to do wrestling. And then my dad's like, hey, you gotta pick something, and then we'll be into it.
Yeah.
But like it got to be one thing. Like I can't. I was going from like I wanted to play football to I want to do tennis. I want to do all these things, and it's like, hey, like that's great, but let's pick one thing. And then we picked motocross. My sister and I both were kind of like, hey, that like she was actually my older sister, so she was like, oh, I want to ride a dirt bike.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds great. Like,
Yeah.
let's both ride dirt bikes.
If your sister's doing it, it's
Yeah,
like, I got it.
Older
I
sister,
gotta do
she's
it.
2 years older than me, and she's like, hey, like, and just out of the blue, she's like, hey, I want to ride a dirt bike.
That's pretty hardcore for a sister.
Yeah, no, she's awesome, and she was great at it. She took off. And that was kind of our passion growing up. So like, I didn't do really much school sports or anything like that. Had a lot of friends in the football team and that kind of stuff, but no, passion was racing motocross. And her and I kind of that was the thing we did together all the time. So we trained together, we raced together, worked our way up in, growing up through like the amateur nationals and all the state championship stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
And then, kind of did that all the way through high school, got out of high school, and then her and I, she was a pro motocross. She was ranked in the top 10 of like fastest women in the U.S.
Oh, wow.
Awesome. Like just a great experience. Her and I traveled around for years, racing motocross, doing outdoor nationals and trying to get into supercross, I did arena cross on the East Coast. Had a great time. Got like my thing was I was really good at practicing. Yeah. I looked good practicing and on a motorcycle, could throw some whips, could throw down some really fast lap times in practice, but never really had it when it came to racing. But again, had the opportunities to travel around the world, like travel around the United States, stay in all these cool places, meet all these cool people. It was awesome. Awesome experience.
Explain motocross a little bit to me. I'm not super familiar with it, but what are the different types of like, are there different types of events or races?
Yeah, so like you have your arena stuff, so like your supercross and arena cross, which are in big stadiums.
Yeah.
And then you have your like outdoor nationals that like Glen Helen, and like they are all over the United States. And it's just a series. So like you have a series of races that go throughout the 6 to 7 months out of the year, and then you just travel and you just hit race after race, and they take an accumulative of points out of each race, and they, the one with the most points wins at the end of the series.
Okay.
Yeah. And it just, it's a year-round thing. Like you do outdoor races for half the year or so, and then you do supercross and indoor races for the other half.
Okay.
So it's kind of like these two series, and people like just stick with one or the other, or some do both, and it's kind of just a set thing, And
is there like a season to it, or is it kind of like this?
Yeah, there is, and I've been out of it for so long, like I don't even remember what like the actual like time frames of when outdoor nationals are and when supercross and all that stuff is going on. But I feel like it's the more winter time of the year. It's all like indoor arena cross, like supercross stuff.
Yeah.
And then all summer and everything, it's all outdoor nationals.
Okay, so it is kind of an all year if you want to.
Oh, it's there's no stopping.
Okay,
like if you want to do the
it's
whole
a grind.
thing, you can race all year round in all over the world. So, which was great. I mean, it was fun, and it was a challenge. It was something that my sister and I both were extremely passionate about, and it kept us close. Like it kept us, it was her and I traveling together. My parents worked. Dad worked out of town a lot. He was a heavy equipment mechanic, so he had his thing, or he's out gone all week doing his stuff. for his job, and then my mom worked full time. So it was just my sister and I at home. My dad being a mechanic, a heavy equipment mechanic, he taught me how to work on motors, taught me how to maintenance bikes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, hey, all right, you're gonna go to school, get home from school, and then it's like, hey, if you guys want to ride, you gotta take care of your bikes. You gotta fix them. You gotta make sure they're ready to go. And then if something happens or breaks, you need to know how to fix it. So that was kind of like my whole childhood of like growing up, learning how to work on motors, how to build motorcycles and bikes and troubleshoot stuff. So which helped me out, because then every time I would get hurt, which would be all the time racing motocross, like it was a constant battle of just getting injured and then trying to get healthy again and then getting hurt again. All the downtime I could work as a mechanic. So like I got my pro mechanics license, and then I would work, like if I would get hurt or whatever, I would travel around my sister when she was doing all the stuff she was doing for the team she was racing for. I would just be her pro mechanic.
There you go.
It's like, and I would work on her stuff and keep her bike up and stuff like that, and then I could heal and get better and then go back to racing myself. So it worked out really well.
That's cool. What kind of injuries? I don't know anything about the sport, but what kind of injuries do people get in motocross? I would assume all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, no, it's a dangerous sport. They're everything. I mean, there's a lot of people that have been paralyzed, lost their life. I mean, there's people that die every year on motorcycle accidents. But no, for me, it was knees, blowing out my knees, tear ACL, MCL, meniscus. Wrists are huge. You have a throttle.
Oh yeah, I can imagine coming down hard.
Come down hard and it turns, and then you end up snapping your wrists. So I've had wrist reconstructions, shoulders, dislocated shoulder, collarbone, clavicle breaks, broke my sternum, ribs. A skew of things. It's a never-ending issue. Ankles, legs, back. I've had compressed, herniated disc, compressed vertebrae. It's just a mess of things, which have been good. It's taught me, like, going through all those, every time I get hurt, have surgery, get it fixed, come back, go to like a physical therapist, and then that was really where the core of like wanting to learn more about fitness came from. Like just working with different physical therapists over time, getting hurt so much. It's like, oh wow, like I'm kind of passionate about working out and like how things actually work and how to make your body stronger and working on the little things to stabilize and take accounts for not just like building muscle and stuff like that, but and kind of got passionate about the fitness realm, which led me into, from motocross, just got hurt just back to back to back, and then it was kind of like, man, I need to do something different. Had several concussions, and just kind of threw me off track. It was like, hey, I need to change. I need to make something different. And then one of the guys that I had coached with growing up, that had coached me to ride motorcycles, that was kind of like a techniques kind of thing, reached out and was like, hey, I do a group ride, like a bicycle road bike group ride.
Okay.
On like Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I was all like, all right, I don't know anything about that. Like, it's like, you should come out and like just ride with us and see what it's about,
Yeah.
And so I got a road bike, showed up out there wearing gym shorts and a t-shirt and threw a helmet on and and was way out of place, but like got to like a group of guys that are really good, all throw down, and I got dropped really early. Like I just fell off the back of the group. They all take off. Like, I don't know how to do this, but it got me intrigued to be like, oh, like how, like, what is it? Like there's so much technique and strategy in it. And then, so it kind of got me passionate about like, I want to learn more about this and figure out how to actually race a road bike. And that led me into getting a road bike, starting to get into it, learn about it. I was super fortunate that there was a group of people that kind of took me under their wing. Yeah. Like, hey, there's rules of like riding in a group and like how to ride, and taught me, the fundamentals of what it is to like do a group ride and how to train and how to ride a road bike in a group. Yeah. And then how competitive races were. So that kind of just pivoted, like right from motocross right into road cycling, and learned a completely new aspect of fitness, like motocross was high intensity sprints, weightlifting, just 100% all the time. And then cycling was like, hey, you're going to ride a bike for 6 hours, 7 hours at a time. Like, you're just going to sit on that thing and ride for 110 miles.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, oh, that's a lot different than what I'm used to.
Yeah.
So, which was great. Challenging, kept me on my toes. I kind of did that. And again, I got picked up on a team pretty early that allowed me to travel and do races all over the United States. So I went from one, just traveling, racing motocross, right into cycling, which again was just traveling all over the United States. Met a whole group. I was on a team of guys that lived all over the place. So we kind of just traveled around and got to know more people that do that cycle, and kind of, just met some awesome people and had a great time. Did that for another couple years. I think I did that for 3 years.
Okay.
Just traveled around racing.
How old are you at this point?
So that I would have been in my mid-20s, early 20s. Would have been that. Yeah, because I got in, like, I started, like, taking motocross, like, really seriously and traveling and doing races when I was, like, 17.
Okay.
Did some amateur national stuff earlier when I was still in high school. Got some wins and some titles in the amateur ranks, and then took off into trying to go into the pro ranks right out of high school.
Okay.
And then chased that for 5-6 years.
Yeah.
And then kind of was like, all right, just beat up and hurt.
Yeah.
Like something needs to change, and again, like, just took that sign and did something different, and it worked out to where I met some incredible people and got to grow myself and kind of learn different aspects, and did that for a few years, and then which then led me into, like, hey, I really like being on it. Motocross, not so much a team sport. Cycling, very much a team sport. Loved it.
Yeah.
Like, it was great. And I was a workhorse on a cycling team. Like, I'm big. Like, I was a lot bigger than all these other guys.
Yeah.
And so, like, my job was just to open up gaps and try to make space.
Yeah. What's that difference like? Because, obviously every sport has, like, kind of size and what's the typical build. And so was that an advantage, or did it kind of also have its cons?
So it was an advantage for me in certain races. So, like, crit races, which are like a downtown loop, super aggressive, fast, kind of surgy sprints. That was kind of that, and like time trials, flat time trials were kind of like where I had the best advantage, or just, was kind of my style of racing.
Just because you had more power.
Yeah, just more power. And again, like, and you throw me on a mountain, you have to climb up a mountain. And it's like, that is not where I'm going to be good at. Like, I'm 100, and even then it's like I was only 180 pounds or something. And it's like 180 pounds climbing up a mountain next to a guy that weighs 135 pounds. Yeah. It's like, I just didn't have the power to stay on there. So it would be like, hey, hang on, try to stay in the group or stay in the pack, and then for the race, and then when it comes down to the finish line, like, hey, we need to make sure we have our lead sprinter of our team. If he was feeling good or whatever, like, we need to get him from here to the front. Yeah. And your job is to go all out 100 yards from the finish line. Like, my finish line was always 100 yards or more out from the actual finish line. Okay. So my sprint would start way earlier. Yeah. And then as soon as I hit that, like, 100 yards to go, whatever, I'm peeling off and I'm out the back. Yeah. Like, my job is done. He takes off to try to get a win or into the top, and then I get out of the way.
Interesting.
That was my job.
So there's a lot of strategy to kind of putting together a race.
From what road cycling is a chess match the entire time. So, like, taking into account, like, what the weather is going to be like, what the course is for that day, how we can manipulate the people that we have and where they're good at, to then taking it to where the other teams, like, where their guys are, like, who they have on their team that are really good, and then also who can we kind of use to spend some energy on these guys that are gonna be really good at the end. Yeah. They're like, hey, let's try to tire them out early. Like, let's try to get rid of them fast. Yeah. And then we don't have to deal with them at the end.
Right. How do you tire them out? Is it just by having guys go faster and then wear them out a little bit more because they're trying to keep up with that?
Yeah, it's all strategy. Hey, we're gonna send people off the front, make them chase them down,
Interesting.
Like, see if we can get a breakaway group, away from the main group of cyclists, and see if we can get some people up the road where then we can just sit and then make their team try to chase them down. So it's like, that was one of my big, kind of big attributes was like, hey, I'm going to take off really early and try to get away from everybody. And then, the rest of the team or most of my other team would be sitting in there and be like, well, we're not going to chase him down. Like, you got to use your guys to chase him down. And so we get a couple of us up the road, try to put in some space, go out there and try to, ride hard and get other people to, waste all their energy on their team to try to catch us, and then try to beat them at the end.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was very much a chess match, which was great. Like, and I had no idea that it was like that until I got into it, which is what kind of drove me to want to learn more and then see where I could go with it. Like, that was kind of been at least my mindset on everything I've done, since motocross kind of thing. Is like, well, let's just see where I can take it,
right?
Like for myself. So, and I did it for 3 years, and I was like, oh, you know what? Like, cool. I think I've been on a couple different teams, rode with a ton of people, learned a ton. Now it's time for me to do something else. Like, I just kind of felt a calling to change up something. Just kind of how I did in motocross. Like, I got to a certain point where I was like, you know what? I'm going to try something else.
Yeah.
And then cycling kind of opened up, and then I kind of started looking at like, you know what? I feel like I'm meant to do something else other than cycling. And then all of a sudden wildland firefighting opened up. Like, I was like, oh, maybe this is something again. Like, I was fortunate enough to be able to, I had a friend that I raced bikes with that were on the same team. He was born and raised in Prescott, and I loved it there. We were hanging out, and I was actually fortunate enough to meet a couple of the Granite Mountain Hotshot guys before Yarnell happened, which, again, like, it was a big wildland fire event. 19 wildland fire guys lost their lives. I was fortunate enough to meet some of them out. Like, they worked out the same gym, and we kind of got to meet, and it was awesome. It was exactly kind of how we had in cycling, as like a team, a brotherhood. And these guys are just out messing around. They're joking around with each other, giving each other crap. And just and having a blast. And I kind of got to see a little glimpse of that. And I was like, you know what? That's something like I might like to look. I want to look into that. I want to do that. So that kind of got me on the path of like, hey, what do I need to do to get into wildland? And I went and got my wildland certs. While I was kind of finishing up with the team I was racing for while doing cycling. And got it and threw my name in the hat. I was like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I got this wildland certification, like, and I just kind of threw my application out everywhere. I was like, who's, got on this, whatever it is, website or whatever that, has all these job postings. And I kind of just threw my name out there and applied for a ton of them. And I got like one off. I got picked up in California, like one offer. I applied super late in the season, and it was like a preliminary job on like a wildland fire apparatus that was stationed out of Bishop, like California. And so I was like, well, I guess this is next chapter. Here we go. It's like, let's see where this goes and see what I can learn. So I jumped over to that, and it just so happened that out of the same barracks and like station that we were out of in Bishop was also Boundary Peak Hotshots, which in all hindsight was where I wanted to go. Like that was like Hotshot Crew was where I was like trying to get to.
What do they do?
So it's more of like a hand crew. So I was on like a type 3, type 4 fire apparatus. So it's like just a off-road truck with some water capabilities, and it's like a smaller version of like a fire truck.
Okay.
That goes out that does like fire roads and does wildland stuff.
Okay.
For the Forest Service.
Gotcha. All right.
So I work for the Forest Service. And then you have Hotshot Crews, which are a group of 20 guys. That all do like direct attack, cutting hand line on wildland fires. And they just, we travel in buggies. We go to all these different wildland fires all over the United States.
Okay. Wow.
During the summertime, and we just fight wildland fires.
Interesting.
So cutting hand line, trying to manage this massive fire. So, and they get a ton of us on these big incidents, and we all work together and try to accomplish the same kind of task.
How often, because, you know, I don't follow it very closely, but how often during the summer season especially, is there a lot of fires that go off and you're just constantly go?
Yeah, so they bring us on around March.
Wow. Okay.
And then we do like workups and training and that kind of stuff, and then it goes all summer long.
Wow.
All the way until you get like snowfall.
Yeah.
So it's usually like a 6 month on, 6 month off. If you're seasonal,
Yeah.
you can do, it's pretty much 6 months of nonstop work. Like
Wow.
they will find fires for you to be on
Yeah.
anywhere they are. So like, yeah, right after March, they usually start kind of kicking off, and then it's just a constant roll, and you can do up to 21 days on a fire, and then usually you'll have a 48-hour like reset time.
Okay.
So you'll come back. So
Wow, 21 days. That's a
21
long
days
shift.
is a long time. Yeah,
Yeah.
Just living in a massive smoke cloud.
Yeah.
You know, right up against whatever massive fire you're on.
Do you guys have shifts out there though, where you're kind of taking turns, or is it? And what's that like? Are you living in tents? Or are you living in a?
Yeah, so
a variety?
it varies. So
Yeah.
we have tents. They have fire camps. So these big industry, big state-run, industries that basically put up like food and all kinds of campgrounds, and we take over high schools or whatever's near the area, big fields. And we'll set up tents and camp there. Most of the time, we'll just spike camp. So it's like, hey, if you want to set up a tent, you totally can. But by the time, again, and weather dependent, a lot of times we just, after working from 5 a.m. to, 10, 11 o'clock p.m., just cutting down trees and trying to fight a fire. It was kind of just, I'm going to eat an MRE and I'm going to lay down on the ground and go to sleep. There wasn't much like effort wanted to be done outside of like, hey, I'm going to do this work. We're all going to just hammer all day long and hike this mountain and try to get this thing under control, or cut the line that we need to cut. And then I'm going to go lay down on the ground and fall asleep for as long as I possibly can. Until when I get up and go do it again for another full day.
Yeah. Probably at that point, doesn't matter. You're just so tired. It's like, this ground feels great.
Ground feels awesome.
Yeah.
It's like, as soon as I can lay my head down on whatever, some pine needles, I'm asleep.
Yeah.
There's nothing extra going on outside of there. Most of the time we try to avoid fire camp, just because it's such a big dense group of people that's like, was known throughout the fires. It's like, you go to fire camp to just get supplies and get out of there, because if you stay there at all, you're going to get sick. Like, it's just like, you're going to get a cold or you're going to get something, because it's just a bunch of people out there all crammed into one field, touching everything. So no, and it was great. And I was able to get hired onto basically like a wildland fire apparatus. And then partway through this, like the fire season, I was able to jump over to Boundary Peak Hot Shots, and fill in a spot. So they had a spot open up because one of their other guys went to go do like a crew boss or, get a higher certification, which then opened up a spot. And I was already training with these guys, got to know them, and then was able to just basically like, hey, I came back from a fire from the truck, and then they're like, hey, we're going out right now.
Okay.
Do you want to jump on? And it's like, absolutely.
Wow.
Like, let's go. Like, that's exactly what I want to do. So, and then got my feet wet with that. Got to jumping with them, and then ended up doing a couple fires with them and had a blast. Like, it was awesome. And then really cemented in the fact of like, this is where I want to be. Right. And be a part of the Hot Shot crew. So then did that. Ended up moving back to Arizona.
So this was in California.
This was all in California. Yep. Yeah. And then they put you up in barracks all season. So you're in government housing. So it was blast. A great time. Learned a ton. Met a ton of people. Got a ton of experience. And then brought that back. I just was seasonal at that time. So then went back to Arizona for the off season. Kind of kept working on getting better at just being more familiar with chainsaws and cutting down trees and that kind of stuff. And then I went up to Flagstaff and applied for Flagstaff Hot Shots for the following season.
Yeah.
And then ended up getting a spot on Flagstaff for the following year. And then worked my way up and got on as a swamper and then a sawyer. And then I basically just stayed on a chainsaw the whole time up there, just cutting down trees.
What's the difference between those different positions?
So you got your line guys. So you got your different tools that you use to cut line. So you're just basically hitting the ground, hitting and moving dirt to get to basically clear mineral soil. And then that way, when the fire, we try to get it down. If it's not running trees, get it down to the ground, hits your fire line, and then we can control it and manage it from there. And then we can get it to either go where we want it to go or stop.
Right.
Sometimes we'll tie into roads. If we can get a good road, we'll set a fire off of a road that'll burn back into the main fire. And then again, it's just how we can control and manipulate out there, being the wildland fire stuff. But no, and it was great, and I loved it. And there for a while, I was like, oh, this is what I'm going to do forever. Like,
yeah,
outside, you get to go to these really remote areas of wilderness that no one's at.
Right.
No one's like, there's no trails out there. These are like way out, you know. And then there's these huge fires that you get to try to manage.
Yeah.
You know? And it was great. And then the same again, it's a brotherhood out there of, you know, guys that are all out there to accomplish the same thing.
Yeah.
And all kind of have, you know, they all have their different stories, but we all ended up in the same spot. So it was awesome. I loved it. And then it wasn't until got married, had our first kid, our first son, and then it was like, oh, you know what? Being gone 6 months out of the year probably isn't what I wanted it to be. You know,
sure.
I definitely was. It was more of like, oh man, I learned so much. I love doing wildland. I love being a part of a hotshot crew. But being gone for 6 months a year when having a baby was like, it's like, man, I felt like if I was gone for, you know, a couple hours, I was like, what'd I miss? Like, right. Oh man, look, he's twice the size of when I left, you know? And it's like, so yeah. And just having him, getting ready for another season, it just was something that was like, you know what, this isn't, you know, I don't want to be gone for 6 months. Is like, you know what, I'm going to try something else. And again, then it kind of led me into construction. I got into construction management right after he was born, or like right before he was born, right around when he was born. Got into construction, doing like an assistant superintendent for multifamily. So building apartment complexes, and which was awesome. It was home. I was able to do that stuff, and then it kind of just moving up the ranks into an actual superintendent position. And then that would kind of got me to kind of realize that it's not where I wanted to be. Just working so much. Like it was great money. It was great. Yeah. Having money and making a ton of money was awesome. But it wasn't what I was passionate about by any means. So like it was exciting building these massive projects, working with a ton of really cool people. But something was just kind of just not there that I wanted.
What do you think that was? Like what?
You know, I couldn't. Maybe it's just because it wasn't where I was supposed to be. You know, like I kind of looked at it as like, you know, there's something that's just not there, and so then I kind of just kind of sat back and had to really think on it on my own and be like, oh, where do I want to be? And fire kind of just was like, I really love wildland fire. Is there something I can do that's similar that keeps me closer to home though and not gone so much? And at the time, my cousin was a fireman for Tempe, and I kind of just started hanging out with him, and I was like, you know what, this seems very similar. Like this seems like the kind of the same thing that I'm looking for. And sure enough, like after talking and praying on it and kind of figuring out where I wanted to go with it, and it was like, you know what, I'm gonna get my EMT. I'm gonna throw my name in the hat, try to get out there and see where it goes, and that's exactly what I did. And man, it was a feat, just doing national registry. Like I had no medical background, like experience of doing anything other than all the amounts of times I've been hurt.
Right.
But yeah, and dealing with doctors and dealing with surgeons. But other than that, like I was not necessary in my wheelhouse. But no, and then threw my name in the hat, and again, like in my mind back then when I applied, 2018, had 2 kids, had my son and then my daughter, and then we're like, oh, we want to have 3 kids, and so it's kind of just like, well, if this is gonna happen, I need to do it now. Like
Right.
if I'm gonna try to test for fire, for a municipal department, like I need to do it right now. And
It's a pretty competitive field, is it not?
it was. So yeah, and that was another thing that was very like, I don't know if it was what I would say nerve wracking or whatever it is, but yeah, you look and it's like, hey, we're looking to hire on, we have 3 spots,
Right.
like 3 confirmed spots. And then you look at like who took the written test, and there's 1,800 people that took a written test, and you're like, oh, like dang, like, and you're 3 spots, like you got 3 spots that are open, and it's like, oh, I don't know. And then you take your written test, and then you get an offer to do an interview, and it's like, okay, like I made it to the first round interview, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, we're gonna take whatever 100. And it's like, and then you're just waiting and waiting and waiting. You're like, I don't know, 1,200 to 100 to now, like how many you're taking? Oh, we're gonna take 30 out of this.
Right.
And it's like, and then again, just trying to throw my name in the hat and get out there. I mean, my interviews were horrible. Like I had no idea what I was doing, but was given the opportunity to go. So we had the process I went through was a written first round interview, second round interview, and then you had to go to like an intern, which was just like physical agility. So I was like, man, and that was pretty much what both of my interviews were consist of, was like me basically bombing the interview and then just be like, please give me an opportunity to like go and work out, please. Like, can I just get there and then I'll give it everything I have,
right?
Like just let me work.
Yeah.
Like that's like,
let me show you what I can do.
This is not what I want. Like this, talking about myself and doing this like interview panel is not where I'm going to be, thriving by any means. Can you please just let me get out onto a grinder and do a bunch of work?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm here for. And got the opportunity to in Glendale. I got an offer, after going through their intern or their combine is what they called it. Which was just a weekend, Saturday or Friday, Saturday, Sunday of just, running, working out, seeing these, basic fire ground things and seeing if you can put up with getting yelled at and work for a couple days straight.
They're pretty hardcore workouts, are they not?
They are. They're meant to challenge you. I mean, that's and in getting the build up to this, I mean, I was making it a point to work out every day, like get very uncomfortable doing, high intensity circuit workouts every day. And now most of the time, like again, with a family and kind of how I structured everything in my life, it's like family is first. I spend my time. So time with wife and kids is my priority. And then once they go to bed or like, my kids are down asleep, spend some time with the wife. And then it's like, okay, I'm gonna get out in the garage and set up a workout. So most of the, building up to fire was me working out in my garage at like 9 o'clock at night, 9, 10, 11, or going to bed and waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning and get out and do something, which is what led me to running. Like that's what got me into running. Because again, we had a baby, we had 2 babies, and then, and my wife worked. So I would get up in the morning and I had a little garage gym. But again, like if I'm getting about 3 o'clock, we have a 2-story house. My daughter's little nursery is right above the garage. So it's like, unless I am dead silent working out, like I'm not working out in there, at night, in the early morning.
Smashing weights on the ground.
Yeah, like there's no way. And then I had like pads. So like if I wanted to do some weights, I could set them down on like a pad and it would deaden the noise. Or like, I would just be like putting on a weight vest and doing box step overs or something.
Right.
Or just something for an hour. And then that's what kind of led me into like, you know what, I'm just going to go for a run. And I just did a loop. It was just a little loop around my neighborhood. that we lived in, and I would just run around until her light came on. Like, and as soon as her light came on, I knew she'd awake, and then I'd go do dad stuff. So it's like, oh, kids up. So like, and sometimes I'd be an hour and a half. I'd get several miles in, running around just my block, over and over again. And I just, every time I come around my house, I like look up, and it's like, oh, she awake? Like, oh, are they awake?
Yeah.
Nope. I was like, oh, I got another lap in, you know. And then sometimes it would be, I would get one lap in, and then I would come around and be like, oh, light's already on. I was like, all right, time to go, you know, get kids ready, get them fed, and then get ready for work. So no, and that was kind of like led me into like, oh, okay, well, if I can't lift, then I'll just run. Yeah. And just to do something. Like, I just need to do something to keep me active. And then that kind of led to getting through fire, getting into Glendale Fire Department. I did almost 5 years there, which was great. And then I lateraled to Queen Creek. We moved back out. We were in Gilbert for a while, and then we moved back out to Queen Creek, and then got the opportunity to work closer to where I live. Yeah. Which was a incredible move. I had great friends, great experience in Glendale. Wouldn't change it for the world. Got a ton out of it. But then, you know, what Queen Creek has been able to give me, being that I work right in the same town I live in, and that I was raised in. I mean, I was probably born and raised in Queen Creek. Right. So it was
probably cool to go back to where
you. Yeah. No, and I wasn't at home for a long time, so like moved around. I lived in Prescott, lived in Flagstaff, had a stint in California, and then being able to, like, you know, get married, have kids. We were in Gilbert, and then just slowly move right back to like where I was born and raised, you know. And it was like, oh wow, this is cool. Like it's changed a ton from when I went out there. When I lived out there and was raised out there, there was a small town, nothing out there.
It's blown up.
Now it's like we have everything. Yeah, everything you possibly want is all here. So it's not even like the same place that it was when I grew up there. When I grew up, like as I was leaving high school, I was like, man, I'm getting out of this place. Like, there's nothing out here for me, you know. And there's like, I got to get out to this big world, you know. And it's like off to, you know, taking off and trying to go to California and doing all these places, being like, oh, this is the best. And then after traveling and kind of moving around and staying with people and living elsewhere, and then it's like, you know what, it's actually really nice here. Like this isn't bad at all. Like again, it's, you know, winter time and it's 90 degrees outside. I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt. But if I want to go do something winter, you know, ski or snowboard or something, I can drive a couple hours and be in a mountain that is covered in snow. Yeah. So it's like, and then when I'm done there, I'll drive back down and put on shorts and a t-shirt and chill all day. You know? So
got AC, a few months of brutal heat, but other than that, it's like perfect.
And being born and raised here, I'm a desert rat through and through. So like, bring on the heat. Like, I'm good with dry, hot conditions are right in my wheelhouse. It's like, okay, I can deal with this. Yeah. But cold, not so much. Yeah. And I don't know if it's the stack of injuries I've had, but man, my body does not want to move when it's cold.
Yeah, it's amazing how that you would think it's not that big of an effect, but being cold and living in the cold, it does affect the joints and the movement. Waking up's a lot harder, and
things don't want to move. No. Things don't want to move as easy, for sure. So no, and that's and it was great. So fell in love, got on with the fire service. Absolutely best career for me. Yeah. Like, I can't see myself doing anything else. I love it. Yeah. I think there's something about being a fireman that you can take it as far as you want, right? Like, you have all the aspects of being a fireman. So you have your medical side, you have your fire side of it, but then if you want to expand and just go even further, like, you can get into drone pilots. If you can command, you know, positions, you can go into special operations stuff. Like, hey, if you want to learn how to save people off mountains, you want to swift water rescue, there's an endless, you know, techniques and strategies and career paths you can take within the fire service that are endless. Like, you can constantly be working to better yourself and learn more about everything. Like, it's a ton about building construction, ton about mechanical stuff, how to be a better on a ladder, how to be better on an engine, and then again promoting and working your way up that ladder of becoming a fireman to to an engineer, to a captain, to a chief. Like it's just you can continue on and push yourself for your entire career.
Yeah.
Which I think is what is great. It's not boring. Like
Right.
if you're bored as a fireman, it's because you're not. It's just because you're not doing something. Like,
Right.
you can do so much to better yourself that it's wild. There's no. Yeah. You could literally fill out your entire day with just working on stuff to continue to be a good fireman. So.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess people don't often think about that. They think it's probably just like, oh, this one thing you do, but you probably there is probably a ton of things that you need to learn and do and focus on. How did the wildfire firefighting translate over to what you're doing now? Was there any translation? Was it kind of like a completely different experience, or was there similarity?
So I would say the biggest similarity was just the like the brotherhood aspect of it.
Yeah.
Like just being on a team or a crew, and having to all work for one, to have the same outcome or the same goal.
Yeah.
Like as for like day to day and work like related, there's not much that correlate with the two, other than sometimes as a municipal fire, like sometimes we get house fires, and it's like, and those are the things that we train the hardest for, and those are the things that we're meant to be as a fireman, like extremely aggressive and do our job. But those are far and few between when it comes to like we're primary medical.
Right.
Like we get there when people call 911 because most of the time it's a medical reason or car accident or something like that. So that was the biggest shift, going from like, hey, wildland is just fire.
Right.
There's nothing, no medical. If you have something medical, you'll get a medic that's from somewhere else that comes in and is like, a field medic or something like that to take care of medical stuff. You're basically like just, basic of whatever. But now it's like a primarily job is medical.
Yeah.
Helping people out on their worst days and trying to solve problems, car accidents, people trapped, that kind of stuff is our bread and butter. Like that's where we thrive, is medical.
Yeah.
So
interesting. Well, yeah, I guess and when you're doing wildfire, there's no other people really involved except you and the fire. But what's that like? Because I know you mentioned, helping people on their worst day. I had another firefighter on probably a few months back, and he mentioned that same phrase. I'm assuming that's kind of a common phrase in the industry, but helping people on their worst day. What's that like? Because I would assume there's usually a mentality that kind of you have to build up or have going into that and helping people in those moments.
Yeah, no, I think there's, and again, firefighting is not going to be for everybody.
Yeah.
Because again, you see stuff, you're a part of things, and again, I look at it as like, hey, I get to try to help, right? I want to be really good at my job and know my roles and responsibilities as a fireman to be able to help somebody when they need it.
Yeah.
And that's where I kind of get my drive from, to continue my education to be good at being a fireman, because I don't want to fall on my face when those times come, right?
Yeah.
Like I want to know what I'm supposed to do and how it's supposed to be done to help them. But yeah, I mean, they accumulate. I mean, those, again, our job is to, when somebody's having, their worst day, to come in there and not only help them, but be there for them. Whether it's an emergency or not. Like that's something that I think, a lot of times, you hear people like, oh, God, I've got to go pick this person up again, or got to talk to them or whatever. And it's like, dude, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I'll always take an opportunity to, again, like you call, it's obviously an emergency, even in, to them.
Sure.
When they called. It gives me an opportunity to at least, see what's going on, talk to them, be able to meet new people. Like I'm down. If you want to talk and hang out, I'm in.
Yeah.
Let's go. So, I love it. I think I've gotten to just the amount of people I've met and been able to talk to and have experiences with has been unmatched. I mean, it's just been an awesome career.
Yeah.
And every time is something a little bit different, right? Like every medical is a little bit different for the most part. Every person is a little different. So it's just constantly being on your toes and being ready for what comes next.
Yeah.
So,
do you think, because in all these different things that you worked on, I'm curious to hear more about your ultra marathon running and things like that. But it sounds like, a lot of people I think would have a hard time mentally being out in the wildfire service for 21 days at a time or working shifts or long hours. What kind of keeps you locked in and continuing forward? Do you think it's just years of doing things like that, building up that tolerance, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think competitive. I think that being a competitive person helps, like
Yeah.
drives it a little bit. Wildland, it's where it's easy to do like that 21 days of just grinding because you're there with your your crew of people, your
Yeah.
team,
Yeah.
of brothers and sisters that are on that crew that are all there for one agenda,
Right.
and your name's on it. Like, hey, this cut a line
Yeah.
that we're cutting in on this wildland fire. That's ours. Like,
Yeah.
people are gonna see it. People are gonna walk it. Is it gonna hold?
Mm-hmm.
And like taking that that responsibility to make it the best, and to look good. Like when you're walking, other people are like, oh man, this thing looks good.
Yeah.
Like, man, this is a good line. It's like, yeah, we did that.
Yeah.
So taking that pride into like what you're doing, so it made those 21 days easy because it was like, hey, we're gonna make this thing perfect. And then again, you had 20 other people that were all doing the exact same thing. So it
Yeah.
was like we just had a great crew and great leadership, and we wanted to be the best, and we wanted when people saw what we were doing to be like, oh dang, those guys are really good, they're crushing it.
Yeah.
So that made it easy. And then yeah, kind of the same thing with a fire, like with being on a crew or at a station on a fire truck, with your brothers and sisters. Again, like it's that having that reputation of being like, hey, no matter what comes out, whatever kicks out, we can handle it.
Yeah.
We'll be able to, between the four of us that are on a fire truck, we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's amazing what having the right community or group around you can do, pushing you forward or holding you back too if they don't have the right people surrounding you. But I guess in all the things you've done, it's like you got a really good group of people around you helping move the ball forward and helping achieve that goal,
yeah,
which is neat.
no, absolutely, no, and it's and that's been, yeah, the whole process of stepping out of your comfort zone, taking the risk, or not even a risk. It's just like following kind of what something that drives you,
Yeah.
something that you can be passionate about, and then leaning into it, like getting that, leaning into it, taking the risks. Like those are all things that just drive me. That
Yeah.
just like, all right, cool. Like, yeah, I want to try to do this. I want to again, and then raising your hand. Like that's where I've been able to get to where I've gotten to so far was like, hey, who can help me out? Like, hey, who wants to do this? Who wants to
Yeah.
go to hazmat school, or who wants to do that? And it's like, oh, I'll go. Like, I'll try it.
Yeah.
And then that led me to meeting a whole bunch of new people and learning a ton more aspects of fire. Like that, got to do all those things, and it's been great. And then just like now, being on the department I'm on now, and then jumping into like health and wellness, like being a part of like what it takes logistically wise to run a fire department when it comes to health and wellness, and what kind of gym equipment should we use. Hey, how can we prevent injuries on the back end of like that's been my biggest passion. That's been the last almost 2 years of my career is kind of just being like, hey, how can we take care of firemen? Like how can we take care of my brothers and sisters that are in our department, to minimize injury, to minimize cancer risks, and then better, their day to day. Like, hey, what can we use? What do we need? What do we need in stations to make our day to day lives better? Also, how can we get healthier to then enjoy our retirement?
Yeah.
After we do 25 years of this job, to get out of it and be super healthy.
Yeah. What have you found? Like what in working that? I'm sure you've done a lot of research and time into that.
Yeah. No. So like, hey, we're leaning a lot into the science behind saunas, cold plunge, so contrast therapies, which we have a whole thing now. We're putting in recharge rooms. We have cold plunges. We have saunas in all of our stations.
Yeah.
We have red light therapy. And then and again, we have very strict protocols like how to, get into the decon and do all these other things to minimize cancer. But for overall health, like we're very much leaning into the contrast therapy, red light therapy, and then just the mental side of it. Like, hey, trying to, again, we get an hour a day where we're like, hey, every day you're on shift, like an hour of that is like meant to be used to work out, like to get out, get some physical activity in, train, do something to stay fit, right? And then and then we've been big on like injury prevention, stretching, mobility, like trying to get that across to being like, hey, these are the ways you don't get hurt as easy, having a little bit more mobility and certain types of training, and going out and getting people their personal trainer certifications, and then having them come back and help throughout the station. So we've had multiple people go get a personal training certification and then come back and kind of train people throughout the departments and through the shifts to how to lift properly.
Wow.
And kind of do. And that's been our big push of like trying to prevent injuries on the back end. Get people healthier, get them more passionate about something. I think that was like a big push. I was like, hey, it doesn't have to be exactly just being a great fireman. Like, what are you passionate about outside of work? And so we've had tons of people do, run marathons or do an Ironman, or even, I've talked some people into doing ultras, and again, like, and it's new to me doing ultras. So, no, and it's been great. And then that's where we really find like, where the fitness level and just like that, being able to stay fit and stay motivated is get something that you're passionate about. And then just, again, like get through that hurdle of, like I always say, like the hardest part is signing up.
Right.
Like, take something, sign up for it. And then you're kind of like handcuffed to it. Like, hey, I like just throw your name in the hat and then, figure it out after. Like, and then, hey, if it doesn't all pan out, go do it. Try it. See what happens. Like, what's the word? Like, oh, I didn't make it in the time.
Right.
And it's like, that's cool. Well, then, hey, like, awesome. What do we need to change to what can we do different to make it better the next time? And then, and then you got to take that hurdle and sign up again. And that's kind of been my whole theory with all of it, of kind of just like, hey, let's take a risk. Go out there and try to push yourself. And then, and every time I've, and that's kind of where every time I've done that, it's opened up either meeting new people, having experiences that I never would have done otherwise. And then also with us, like these ultra runs and ultra races I've done, man, you find out a lot about yourself. Like it's wild when you're like, oh man, you can only listen to music or podcast for so long. When you're out there for 3 days, 4 days of just running, there's not much else you can do other than really get to know yourself. And then just kind of the roller coaster that is ultras, which is what drove me to do more with them. Like, try to do more and try to focus on it, because man, every single one has been completely different. And it feel like every time I come into it being like, oh, maybe I got this one, like maybe I got something. I do not not have it, and it is whole nother experience, and they're awesome. So
what exactly, because I was looking up some of the ones you mentioned, like the Triple Crown and some of those different ones, and brutal. Like those are intense things I don't think a lot of people would ever endeavor to do. So first of all, what got you into even doing that? Going and doing that type of sport. You mentioned running when you kind of got into running a little bit, but this almost goes beyond just running. It's a whole it's a whole thing. So tell me about that.
So no, it was good. I think what led me into ultras, so a little bit of running. I always wanted to kind of do, I didn't run ever really. Going through motocross and cycling, it was never really like, I was never a runner. I never ran. For fitness, I would just go to the gym, work out, and then I would do whatever it is that we're doing, riding a bike or riding a motorcycle. And I started running a little bit just because of time, like time consuming, or just kind of family and managing time. Like I found it a lot easier to just get outside, go run for 30 minutes to an hour, and then come home and then be home. And so that kind of started the path of running. What got me into ultras, so I was still working out, doing CrossFit, doing, all the different things, weightlifting, doing some Olympic lifting classes, and just trying to again, stay in shape. Like that was always my kind of thing. Like, hey, I just want to be in shape and I want to be active. I guess my overall goal is like, hey, I want to be able to, outdo my kids
Sure.
for as long as possible. Like, like that. My wife always gets after me. She's like, oh, just let him win. I was like, not a chance. Like this kid will win. He will beat me at some point. But he's gonna wait until that point. Like I'm
no
not
sooner than necessary.
I'm not giving it to him for free. Like,
Yeah.
dude, he's like there will be a day he will outrun me. There will be a day he will outlift me, and there will be a day that he will put me into the ground. Like he's going to throw me to the ground or what? We're gonna be wrestling, and all of a sudden he's gonna have the upper hand.
Yeah.
And it's like, dang it, he got me. But until then, he's not gonna win.
Yeah.
So like I look at my thing as like, hey, I'm gonna stay as fit as I can. And try to stay on top of these things as long as I can, and then because one day my son is gonna, he's gonna have me at everything I try to do,
Yeah.
and I can't wait. I look forward to those days, being able to again put him into some some hurtful or whatever, like some stressful situations, running long distance or whatever he wants to do.
Sure.
And still have it on him, but then knowing one day he's gonna be better than me. So, but no, so I kind of got into running a little bit, going back and forth, and then, it wasn't until I was probably a couple years on fire. We would do every year. We'd do our 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb. And we'd get all of our gear on, you pack up and you go do like at a stadium, we'd go.
Okay. Sorry, 1 second.
Oh yeah, you're good.
Just make sure we get this. All right, sorry about that. We were talking about the 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb and.
Yeah, so what kind of got me into the first thing was ultra running anyway. It was, I had been trying to do a little bit more running, didn't know really much about any kind of ultra stuff at the time. But we were doing the annual 9/11 stair climb, and I was like, man, I want to do something more. I want to do like it's great. Like I absolutely love the stair climbs and kind of having that memorial for 9/11. But I was like, man, I want to do something bigger. I want to do more. So I started looking up like, September 11th, endurance challenges, whatever. And I literally just Googled it and it popped up. The first thing that popped up was Aravaipa is just an ultra running company. Mogollon Monster 100 miler was the first thing that popped up. Like, I punch it in and it just like pops up and I'm like, oh, well, like this looks good. And it's 100 miles up and down and across the Mogollon Rim.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, wow, there it is.
You're like, that looks pretty tough.
Again, like I was like, oh, you know what? Like, I don't know if I could do that. And then, and it was something that kind of like, something about it just kind of drove me. I was like, and it was that small voice inside my head where like, oh, you got to do that.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I don't know. And then I kind of like said it out loud and people are like, what? No, like that's no, you're not good. You're not going to do that. And it's like, maybe like
now they woke you up. You're like, now I got it.
Yeah. It was kind of like, 100 miles. Like, I don't even want to drive 100 miles. You want to go run 100 miles? With 20,000+ feet of climbing, like that doesn't. I don't know if that's what you're made for, And it's like, like I want to try something, which kind of set me down the path. Like that set me down the path of like, well, you know what, I think I do want to try it. I want to see what I can do, and maybe I won't be able to finish, but I'd like to try. And so then I did. I kind of looked up what I needed to do to sign up for this race, and they're like, hey, you need to do a 50 miler to be able to sign up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, all right, I got to find a 50.
Yeah.
And this all happened in like 1 year. So like I looked it up, like I looked up this thing in like maybe March.
Yeah.
February, March. And that race, the 100 milers in that September of that year.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, all right, yeah, like I got plenty of time, like in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not going to be much more ready than what I'm going to be now. So
6 months, plenty of time to train for 100 miles.
Yeah. So then like I went out and I, again, looked up a race and I was like, well, I need to probably start doing a race. So I signed up for a 50K and it's like, and I did a 50K and that wrecked me. Like I was destroyed. And it was like, man, it's not good.
Yeah.
I just did 31 miles and I can't even walk. And it's like, that's not promising. And then, got done with that, but met some really cool people and got to know a couple of them, have awesome stories. And it was like, oh, okay. And then they, those same kind of group of people are like, well, you did a 50K, you do a 50 miler.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, I was pretty wrecked after a 50K, and they're like, you got it easy. And so then I signed up for a 50 miler, went out, did a 50 miler, did the exact same thing, completely crushed me. And I was like, man, this is not looking good.
Yeah.
Like just blisters and toenails. I'm losing toenails, and it's just,
How long does that even take, the 50 miler?
I think it took me, I was out there for and again, and I didn't do any homework to find the best 50 miler for me as hey, I'm just starting to get into running. I'm going to try to do as flat, 50 miler. No, I went to Colorado after getting off shift to work 2 days, jumped in my truck with my brother-in-law, and we drove to Colorado, got there in the middle of the night, and then I woke up at 4:00 in the morning and with a couple hours of sleep, and then went out into the Rockies and did a 50 miler climbing up summits. It was bad. It took me, I don't even know, over 15, 16, 17 hours. It was crazy.
Wow.
I was out there all day.
Yeah.
From when the sun came up to when the sun went down, I was just barely making it in, which was lucky because I don't think I had a light or anything to help me get back to the finish line.
Yeah.
So, but no, and then was just destroyed. And the plan was to get off shift, drive there, sleep for an hour or two, get up, race, get done racing, get back in the truck, drive home, and just make it this quick turnaround. It was not that. I got back into the truck. I could not sit inside of the truck. My legs were cramping up. I was like, dude, we got to stop. We got to go to a hotel.
Yeah.
We got to do something. So we get on the highway, get off the highway, get into a hotel. I'm passed out in the shower, just wrecked, and then came back and I was like, you know what? All right, and again, it was still something that was just kind of hey, you need to just sign up for it, do it.
Yeah.
And so I did. I signed up for the Mogown Monster that year and did it, and it was awesome. It challenged me, put me in places that I, had no idea what I was doing, and it just opened up a whole another realm of how your body handles stress, and then kind of just the ups and downs of what it is to do an ultra, and then the people just meeting all these awesome people out there that are a part of these races, that are helping out, that are volunteering, also the people that are racing. Man, I got to meet people from all over the world that were out there doing the same thing. All, with some have similar goals, and some are on, different, paths of, whatever it is. But man, just awesome people out there just pushing themselves to try to accomplish something, whether it's to finish or whether it's to win.
Yeah.
Right? So there's just a huge variety of people, that truly got me passionate about it, being man, this is pretty cool. I want to did that one, and then was oh man, that was awesome. I wonder what this other race would be like. And I did another 100, and it challenged me completely different than the first one. I thought the first one I mean, again, I feel every time I go into it, these ultras, these over hundreds, or now 200s, I feel I was oh, I got it. I took notes.
Yeah.
I took notes on the last one, and I see where I was deficient, and I see where I lost time or whatever it is, or had an issue. And it's I'll fix it. I'll tell you right now, something else comes up.
Yeah.
There's every single one I have yet to do out of all of the hundreds of mile and 100-mile races I've done. I've yet to do one right, perfect. It's always been something.
Yeah. Something humbling, just something
or just unforeseen. I had a good strategy and good plan, and I figured out my nutrition, and I know how much I need to eat and how much and what I should eat. That was a huge. It took me 3 races were just me messing up, eating things I shouldn't have been eating.
Yeah.
Oh man, this this, fried chicken sandwich does not sit well trying to run, and it's like, yeah, don't eat that, and, or not trying to eat at all. Like, oh, I need to run fast, so I just won't eat any actual food. I'll just eat gels. Well, that doesn't pan out either. So there's just, just these lessons. And again, like this last year, 2025 was huge for me learning. Like this is where I was like, I got into ultra running as like, hey, I just want to finish. I want to push myself, try to finish, and see if I can do that. And that was kind of like just even a lot of the races up until last year, were just my biggest goals were like, hey, I just want to finish without getting time cut.
Yeah.
I want to push myself just for me, to see kind of what I'm capable of. And then two is I had they allow you in these 100-milers after like 40 to 50 miles in, you're allowed to have pacers. So you have a friend can come and pace you through certain segments, a little 20-mile section or a little 20-mile section. Little 20-mile section.
A little marathon section of the race.
Yeah, just a marathon or a little bit more, 30 miles, 50K. But to come and help you do this. So my wife she's my crew boss. Like she runs everything. She is logistics. She's everything. I do none of those things. If it was up to me, I'd be just flying by the.
You'd be doing the gels on the side.
Yeah, I would just be like, oh, whatever. I'll just figure it out when I'm out there, you know. And it would be way harder. It would make it way harder on myself. But she does all of it. So logistically, she's like, hey, I'm gonna be these areas, this stuff. She does all the logistics. She's my rock, dude. She's awesome.
Yeah.
And she makes these things possible, really. And I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna wing it. I'm gonna go out there and have a good time. I'm just gonna, see what happens.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I'll control everything else. So you go do that, and I'll have all this under control. But no, getting into them was being able to have pacers, which I would just invite friends. Like they were just my buddies. So my brother-in-law, my coworkers, guys that I met in the fire service or work with, that become great friends. It's like, hey, do you want to come pace me?
Yeah.
Like you want to come help me out? Like I'm already destroyed. Just ran 50 miles. You want to come hike with me?
Yeah.
For hours. And it's like, and that was great. Like I love that, getting into ultras, being like, hey, I'm not racing this. I'm not trying to push myself to win or set a new record. I was like, but you want to come hang out? Like you want to come and like, I'm going to be doing this race. My family's out there. My wife is out there. My kids are out there. You want to come and do a segment?
Yeah.
Like, do a section with me, and then being able to have them push themselves and do the longest run they've ever done, and multiple, and usually it'd be like they'd come pace me, and a good group of those guys, 3 to 4 of them, they come pace me, and now they're doing their own hundreds.
Right.
Like it just got them into this same thing. They met people, they got to kind of see what it was just to push yourself. It's like, hey, this is not these aren't just races. They're experiences that, again, you can take people take all kinds of stuff out of them. Like, hey, I look at it as like, hey, this is just getting me stronger to handle life.
Yeah.
Like, hey, there's hurdles and these ups and downs and these dark spaces you go to out there that only strengthen you for every day, like everyday life. So I looked at it as like, hey, I'm just going to keep working on whatever it is that I need to work on and try to push myself, and had a great time hanging out in these really cool places with friends, guys that I want to surround myself with, guys that I look up to, that are like, oh, dude, I'm not going to even run a half marathon. It's like, well, this isn't really running. Like I could trick them into being like, this is not really running.
Right.
Like we're just hiking. Like we're going to go out on a hike for a few miles.
Yeah.
And then they get out there and it's like, hey, we should run a little bit, and it's like, and then they run and they push themselves and they get into like, dabble into those spots a little bit. And then, they talk to me after and they see that like, hey, yeah, like the day after, yeah, I'm wrecked. Like you're beat up pretty hard. But then after, 4 or 5 days, it's like, oh, okay, that wasn't
right.
bad. Like I made it through.
See what you're capable of too.
Yeah. Well, and just kind of like, hey, I accomplished it. Like, hey, I got something out of it. I got to know more about myself. I got to learn more about my friends that, buddies that I have, that are my lifetime friends. Got to know more about them. They got to find some stuff in themselves. And then also then it's cool to be like, back at me like, hey, they, sign in. I love it when I get a text message and it's just a screenshot of ultra sign up, like 100 mile, just registered.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, dang, here we go. Like,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this is awesome, And then having these groups of people out there now and having buddies that are doing the same races as me and stuff, it's awesome. Like, dude, I love it. And then, yeah, them pushing themselves, whether it's just to get out there and do a 50K or a 50 mile or 100 or going into the 200s. It's been a great experience. And that was kind of like what I looked for doing it up until last year. And again, like I went to the hundreds, did a couple 100 milers, and then all of a sudden, like, I was like, something popped up about the Cocodona 250. And it's a 250 mile from Black Canyon City here in Arizona to Flagstaff.
Wow.
And I was like, well, it's local. I was like, that seems, it's close to home.
Yeah.
I was like, I guess if I were to do any big, long, they give you 6 days to finish. I might as well try one here. Like, might as well try one that's in my backyard.
Right.
And just through something, it popped up, heard about it, and I was like, well, I've done 100, done a couple 100 milers. I've been absolutely trashed after every single one of them.
Yeah.
Every single one of them, I've been wrecked. I was like, but something in my head was like, just sign up for it.
Right.
Sign up for it. And I put it off. Trust me. I was like, no, I'll probably die out there. Like,
Yeah.
this is probably not going to be good. And again, I kind of just got like, you know what, I'm just going to sign up for it. Signed up for it. And then it gave me something to kind of train for, and keep focused on, right? Like, just gave me a goal, which I think is one of the biggest things to have just in general is like, hey, just set whatever it is, a marathon, ultra, high rocks, just have something you're passionate about, and then set a goal for it, and then keep you focused on it. Like, hey, like, keeps me, wanting to do more.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I did. And I signed up for it. I went out there, and again, I made it like a whole thing. Buddies, my friends, my wife, my dad, all crewing me, all like doing segments, little sections. After that one, you have to run almost 100 miles by yourself, and then the last 150, you have to like have pacers and stuff, and you can have people crewing you and everything like that, which was awesome. But man, again, wild time, like just trying, sleep deprivation, nutrition, and then just getting into these dark spots with friends, and then also having great times. Like, there's highs and lows out there all the time.
Yeah.
And again, you get to learn so much about yourself when you're pushing yourself.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. And and it just kind of drove me, and again, the people I met out there doing that race got me into what I did last year. Like, I literally was running with a guy for hours, days. Like, it was just like 2 days of the first day and a half to almost 2 days, met tons of people out there, and then he hit me up after. So I completed the 250, had no idea what I was going to do. Like, I completed it. I was like, oh, check. Like,
Yeah.
all right, I did 100. I worked my way up to 100. I did a 250 mile race. Like, I have no idea where you go from here. Like, at that time, there wasn't another one in my mind. Like, I didn't know anything about ultra racing or these ultra marathon stuff. So, and he hit me up after, was like, hey, what are you doing? What race are you going to do next? And I was like, I have no idea, and I'm like, here I am, like, looking, and it's like, I've seen a clip of David Goggins running a Moab 240. I was like, maybe that'll be the next one, something just kind of stuck out to me. Maybe that'll be it. And he's like, that's a lottery race. Have you put in for that lottery? I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, I don't know anything about what is a lottery for an ultra? What is that? And he's like, and he just mentioned, he was like, hey, if you're looking at doing Moab 240, if you really want to do it next year, 2025, this is 2024, he's like, you should probably sign up for the Triple Crown of 200s. And this is like, I know nothing about these races. Like, I was like, the Triple Crown of 200s. I was like, oh, that sounds like a lot of running. And he's like, but Moab is one of those races. And he's like, and you sign up for the Triple Crown and you're in for 3 of these 200 plus milers. And I was like, I'm going to have to think about it. And he's like, cool. He's like, it ends tonight at midnight. Like the sign up, it closes. And I'm like, all right. So I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to think long. But then, yeah, talked to my wife. I was like, hey, I think I'm going to sign up for this Triple Crown of 200s. What do you think? And she's like, and this is right after I just did the Cocodona 250 for the first time. So like I lost almost all of my toenails.
Oh man.
I got blisters that my whole heel is like peeling off. And I'm limping. Like I'm like hobbling around. And this is like the day after or 2 days after or whatever. And she's like, you want to do what? I was like, well, so I just glanced at it. Apparently it's 3 separate 200-mile races, kind of spaced out next year. And at this time, like, Cocodona is in May, beginning of May. So it's like I have a whole year. Like, I got tons of time. I got a whole year, which I didn't utilize. But I was like, so we just kind of sign up for it now, and then we can figure it out later. And she's all like, okay, go for it. So I did. They signed up for it, and then I kind of just like was like, oh, that's a next year problem. Like I'll look at that later. And kind of just kept it on the calendar as like, oh, I should probably run. But then I got more into like CrossFit, working out, circuit training. And then so I just kind of threw in runs in the side. So it was like, hey, I was always running, but it wasn't like
the priority
of anything. Like, hey, I want to lift heavy. I'm still doing some Olympic lifting. I still do CrossFit. High rocks started blowing up. So it's like, well, maybe I'll do some high rocks, know? And then, so we threw one of those on the calendar last year.
How was that? Did you like that?
It was great, dude. It was awesome. Experience was awesome. I went again with a couple buddies of mine from that I work with. They're all firemen. We all flew to Miami and did the Miami High Rocks.
Okay, there you go.
So it's like boys trip. We flew into Miami, did High Rocks, flew home.
Yeah. I've heard people say they love High Rocks. That's a lot of fun. So
they made a great atmosphere.
Yeah.
So it's like very compact, very much you're able to watch. It's like spectator friendly. You can get like right by people and watch them just suffer. Right? Yeah. It's just an endurance and suffer fest.
Right.
Which again is awesome, dude. I love it when they like all these things. Just the same with like CrossFit competitions and all this other stuff. Like, people all have their own opinions of all of it. Hey, I like it because it gets people together and you get to push yourself.
Right.
And it's cool. Like I just enjoy being able to get together with some people that want to suffer for a little bit and then have a good time. Yeah. Like, and so I that's where I kind of like, always gravitate towards were like these endurance events. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I threw one of those in. It was great. I learned a ton. I got penalized for time because again, like I didn't do my homework. My wife for High Rocks. She was like, I'm not doing all the logistics for this. Like, hey, you're gonna have to figure this out. I was like, yeah, I'll figure it out when I'm out there. And then I did, but it was in detriment to like, hey, you're stepping out of this space and like you're doing this wrong. And it's like, oh shoot, oh yeah, I got to do that. All right, but no. So again, took a bunch of notes and I'll do another one. I got some healing still to do, but before I can start working out again. But no, I think they're great. I think my wife just ended up doing the High Rocks, the Phoenix High Rocks.
Okay, yeah.
She did it, loved it. She did it on like a team. But it's awesome. I think it does exactly what it was meant for. Like it gets people out there pushing themselves, having a good time. Yeah, I think they're great. So yeah, no, I'm in for all these things. But yeah, got into the 250, did that, and then the buddy of mine that I met out there, mentioned to the Triple Crown. I signed up for it. And then kind of when it started coming around for the last year, in 2025, I was like, all right, well, I got the Triple Crowns on the calendar. I got that coming up. Like, we got to probably start doing some logistics, start, maybe training. And then I took a different position. Well, I took another position away from being on a fire truck to being in a fire academy, as like a RTO, a recruit training officer.
Yeah.
Which again was great, loved it. But again, that from my normal schedule, which is 48 hours on, 96 off. So I work 2 days, I'm off 4 days.
Yeah.
Gives me ample amounts of time to be with my family, have tons of, being involved with all my kids' sports and doing all that stuff, to then now being RTO, you work Monday through Friday.
Oh.
From like 5 a.m. to it could be late, getting home at 9.
Sure.
10 o'clock, depending on what we have going on at, the academy for an extended period of time. So it just was time consuming wise. And I did that. Like, that was like, yes, I'll take, like, again, like, hey, are you interested in this? And again, I was like, well, I don't know if I'm qualified to be an RTO.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, sure. Yeah. I'll try my best. I'll give it everything I got. But it landed like that would have been the whole build up 3 months before the Triple Crown starts.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, we can do it. We can make this happen. So going into the Triple, and then it was just a kind of a desire. I was like, well, all right, then I'm going to do the Triple Crown of 200s, but I'm going to look at it as like, hey, I'm just going to work out every day. I'm going to stay active. I'm going to try to get a run in early. So like, I'll just go run at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'll get up, go run for an hour, and then I'll go right to work. And then at work, I'll just be on my feet all day. Like, we're on our feet anyway. We're training, we're running through drills, we're doing hose lays, we're doing all this stuff. So it's like, time on feet is going to be up there. Running is not going to be crazy high because I'm going to get an hour.
Yeah.
And then weekends are kind of if I'm not racing or doing a race, it's like, those are family time. Like, son has football game, my daughter's in gymnastics. Like, there's constantly kid stuff going on. Mm-hmm. Parties, birthday parties. Man, kids have birthday parties every week. So they that's kind of my priorities are like, we're family, and then this is kind of on the side of work, and then ultras and pushing myself and doing this stuff is kind of sitting third. But no, so we went into the academy, got through, was doing that, awesome experience, loved it. And then literally like the week before the first race for the Triple Crown, which was Tahoe 200 in California, the week before we graduated the academy, the fire academy that I was a part of. And then so then I had like 4 days, and then like, hey, you're gonna line up on a line and run a 200 miler. And I'm like, okay, but which was fine in my mind. I set it up to be like, hey, I got a ton of racing to do this year with just the Triple Crown alone. Yeah. Like, hey, there's 200 miles, then there's 7 weeks, and then another 200 miler in Washington for Bigfoot 200, and then you got another 7 weeks, and then you're going to be in Moab for a 240 mile race. I was like, I got a ton of time.
Which is the toughest out of those three, did you feel like? I'm sure they all differ, but which did you feel was probably the most challenging out of those three?
So I think that's where like the I've never had a perfect ultra marathon ever, is because they all had different challenges, right? So Tahoe, beautiful place. Like, I mean, incredible views. You basically run like it was a 2 out and back, so you run all the way out to like around the east or the south side of Tahoe Lake, and then you turn around and run all the way back, and then you run all the way around the other side, and then turn around and come all the way back. So it ends up, 200 miles. You've basically encompassed the entire lake twice.
Wow.
Going out one way and back the other. But that one there's like a super fine dust that is out there that when you're running, it just gets dusty. Like, there's just a ton of people out there running, and it's like this fine little talcum powder like dust. And then at the time when they have it, the pollen is insane. Like, all the trees have all this pollen everywhere. Well, they have a name for it. It's like Tahoe lung is what they call it. But it basically is like an upper respiratory inflammation. So it just makes it to where you can't breathe.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was like, I didn't know if it was a mixture of altitude or what, but it's like after day one and going into the night one, it's just like in your light, it's just like a haze of pollen, and you just breathing in so much of it that it just restricts, it just inflames your upper airway.
Jeez.
To make it to where you can't breathe. Like you're just hacking up a lung
Yeah.
all the time. So I was like, I don't know what is going on, but I cannot breathe.
Man.
And so that was the challenge. Like that was the challenge for Tahoe. It was like, hey, this place is awesome. Beautiful course, awesome people. But I was like, man, I was hacking up a lung the entire time. I lost my voice, couldn't talk, just wheezing. Like I was like having an asthma attack for the last like 40 or 50 miles. Like I was just like multiple times, like tripoding on the ground, just being like wheezing and trying to like cough to breathe. And just, a whole nother level of pushing yourself to try to finish that thing. Which worked out. It was great. Like it was a challenge for sure. Again, I probably should have read the runner briefing.
Yeah.
Because it was in there. It was like, hey, Tahoe lung is a thing. Like make sure you have an inhaler. Make sure you have some like anti-decongestant or something. They had a bunch of tricks. I did not read the runner's guide, and I did not bring any of those things. So, it was a lesson learned. But no, made it through. Made it through, and then in my mind, I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna take those notes and just be more prepared the next time," and took that into the next one, being like, "Okay, well, have felt pretty good. Like I finished it, like in whatever. Like I had no expectations.
Sure.
Like I was like, hey, I just want to finish it.
Yeah.
But like, let's try to push ourselves and see where we get, and it worked out. I don't remember what my actual finish time was for that one, but yeah, top 20, I guess, which was great. I was like, oh, cool. Like I had some problems, worked through it, and challenged myself. So I was like, on to the next. And I was like, and then maybe I'll take some things. So I went back after that one. I was back on a fire truck. But again, I only had 7 weeks till the next one. So I was like, I don't know. Like I took a week off. I didn't run at all, and then I was just working out because I was like, my legs are still shot. I was like, so I'm just gonna lift weights, and cross train, in the meantime. And then so we did that. Came into Bigfoot, feeling good. Like I was like, all right, so Bigfoot in Washington, so Bigfoot 200, probably one of the coolest races out of all of them. Every race, like that's probably the coolest race I've ever done. Running around Mount St. Helens, seeing like the blast scar. You literally like run. You start on one side and you run all the way around. You run through this like lava field. You get to see the blast scar, like the whole thing right up close. You got all these like rivers and creeks running down.
Wow.
Right there, like awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome course. And then you go out into the mountains and you're just climbing these peaks. And then by the time you're done, you start, whatever, Oregon, and you end in Washington.
Yeah.
So you're like looking back and you're like, I started back there, and it's like a little tiny mountain.
Yeah.
Of like Mount St. Helens is like way back there. You're like, man, that is cool. Like, that I've hit every single one of these peaks all the way out here, and then now you're coming down into this town and finishing.
It's crazy. Wow.
Which was awesome and great race. And yeah, again, just did a little better, felt better, was a little bit faster, cleaned it up a little bit. Like had my nutrition was better. I was able to, again, take care of my feet better, wear the right clothes, like wearing the right stuff that works for me, like not getting chafed so bad and not, wearing a decent pair of socks. Like all these things I've just kind of accumulated over all these races of learning hard lessons, kind of compiled up through that one. And it's like, oh, this one was pretty good. Like I was able to breathe the whole time. And like, was able to push myself and, finished up there. 7th, 8th place, something like that. And I was like, okay, well, like figuring it out. Let's try to take on. I want to push a little bit more. So then reached out to Killing Korth, who's dominated this Triple Crown, set new course records, won this thing by a ton, and reached out to him. And I was like, hey man, like what do you do for training? Like I don't understand. Like how can you do a training block in 7 weeks between 200 milers? Like. Right. I was like, I feel like you should just go into a cave and sleep for 2 weeks or, for a couple weeks and then get up and run another one. Like your body just isn't there. But no, and he's helped me out. We got kind of together right after Bigfoot. just to kind of get on like, hey, this is what I do. This is how I kind of work out and how I kind of program all my runs and workouts and kind of thing. So implemented that into what I do already with weightlifting and training, because I wanted to keep more weightlifting in mind, just because of my job and kind of how I feel about it. It's like, hey, I want to still lift heavy weights and then run too.
Yeah.
So
what was he having you do? Just implementing some runs in there as well, or is it just
more? So his thing was whole like purposeful runs. Like, hey, we're gonna have speed work twice a week.
Oh,
and we're gonna have light miles on this day and this day, but then we're gonna have a long day.
I see.
Like, and kind of being able to flex. And that was kind of like getting what I got out of it was kind of like, hey, cool, I'm gonna still do the things that I'm gonna do to be fit and stay, with muscle and stay up with my job, being able to do my job. But then also like, hey, what can I optimize to be the best that I could be myself for ultra running?
Sure.
Like, I just want to try to push myself and see what happens, see where I can get out of it. And so he kind of helped me out with that. And then again, we became friends and talking and stuff like that, and just all the other people I've met out there. But he kind of helped me program that out. And then the recovery aspect of it, like, hey, and again, like how he sets it up is like, hey, we're going to do this, this, and this. But if you don't feel like if your legs are super heavy or you're swollen or whatever it is, like, hey, then just take the day off and then we can set up and do this
right.
The next day, and we'll kind of just vary as we go. So it was great. And I worked with him the whole time between Bigfoot and Moab 240, which paid off great. I felt great going into Moab. I had gotten some bigger miles. And again, like, I hadn't done big mile training. Like, my longest run going into Tahoe when the first one was like 12 miles.
Oh, wow.
Like, training run
was
12 miles. Like, I had run like 12 miles because I had an hour and a half or 2 hours of free time one time before that whole, whatever the build up, my training schedule. Other than that, it was like 1 hour to 45 minutes of running early in the morning.
Right.
Whenever I could get it. Like, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
6 days a week. Like, just trying to get an hour, if that, in. And sometimes it would be 30 minutes of just running up and down Santan Mountain, which is in my, like, backyard. And it was like, I would go out there, do 30 minutes of just climbing up and down this mountain, and then I would go to work. But again, like, I was like, I got so much running to do through these races. Like, I'm going to build fitness.
Right.
Like, so it's like, I don't need to go crazy on the front half, because I'm gonna build fitness through all these races, and kind of looked at it that way, and it worked. And it worked in the sense of like, hey, I wasn't peak performance going into Tahoe.
Sure.
Like, I was undertrained. I was not going in there tired. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I was feeling really good.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't done any real big runs leading up to it, and then having that recovery time, that's 6-7 weeks between to Bigfoot, worked out awesome. I recovered, felt good, had that fitness coming out of Tahoe, and then took that into that race and felt great and was able to go a lot faster, or feel a lot better the whole time. And then took all those notes, worked with Killian, and went into Moab, which was a whole nother thing. Like, I was looking at Moab. Historically, Moab 240 is hot, dry, very wide open, desert kind of feel. Yeah. And it's just usually like a grind. Like, it's hot. There's no hiding. It's all really exposed. And it just cooks people out there. And that's what makes that race super hard. So I trained in the summer all here, which is great. I was like, this race is going to be perfect for me. Right. Because I live in the desert, and it's hotter than crap here. So, I was excited. I was like, yes. I was like, this is fine. Like, hey, this Tahoe, not cold. It's freezing. You know, this Bigfoot, same thing. Is like wooded areas, all this stuff. And I was like, finally, we're getting back to the desert. We're going to get hot. It's going to be 100 degrees, dry. And this is going to be great. And I trained for that. And I was super excited about it. I was like, this is going to be my advantage. Like, here we go. And I got there, and it was like 55 degrees and pouring rain the entire time. So I was like, this is not what this race is supposed to be. Yeah. And then again,
everybody else is super excited for that, and you're like, worst,
I was like,
worst
dude,
part.
I needed no water. I
Yeah.
wanted no water out
Yeah.
there. I want everybody to just be, dehydrated and burning hot,
Yeah.
And this is gonna be my best hope to try to have something, to try to better my, position or whatever there. And again, it was whatever. Like it was kind of just, hey, I want to push myself and see where I end up. And again, take these notes that I've learned through all these other races and see if I can do better. And and I went into it being like, all right, well, hey, like it's pouring down rain, it's soaking wet. Okay, let's go. And again, like I felt like, having the experience of all these other races, like I should, should do good. Like I'll be up there and push, and always something changes. Like again, like I was 30 something miles in, and I just my feet are soaking wet, and they're not used to being soaking wet and soft after 6 hours of running. In the very beginning, 30 miles into 240.
Yeah.
I'm going down a steep, ravine into this valley, and I hit a sharp rock, and it just kind of like split the bottom of my foot open. Like it just kind of like split open. It was soft, or they're waterlogged or whatever.
Yeah.
And it split open. And I was like, and I felt it, and I was like, well, this is gonna suck. Like this is this is not the challenge I wanted it to be.
Right.
At 34 miles in, I was like, this okay. Well, we're gonna have this is an issue, and kind of fell off. Like I was like started walking for a while. I was like, man, this is gonna be a long race with a split foot at 35 miles.
Yeah.
And then got to the first like little aid water station, because they're set up like every anywhere from 8 to 10 mile to 20 something miles apart. They have like a water station, or like where they have some aid throughout the whole race. So I got there. They have a medic on standby there, and I was like, hey, my foot is split open. Can I just get a bunch of tape, and we'll tape this thing up? And so I spent a ton of time there, taping up my foot, eating, kind of just chilling, being like, all right, we'll just kind of mindset reset of being like, hey, you're gonna be out here a long time, like this. Like, hey, you wanted to go really fast and be really efficient, and you wanted to try to better your time. And I was like, and now you're just gonna like, hey, you just need to finish this thing. Like you're 40 miles at this point in, you got a long way to go. So tape it up. I taped it up, did not feel great. So I just kind of took it easy. I was hiking, walking, taking my time. Ended up getting to the next aid station where we were able to have crew. I wasn't planning on picking up one of my crew, like one of my pacers at the time, but I was not feeling great. Like I was like, man, like my foot sucks. Now I'm kind of way back. It's still pouring down rain. I'm freezing cold. And then he's like I can start pacing now if you want. And I was like, yeah, dude, I want somebody to hang out with. Like, come, like, let's go and pace, and we'll see if we can get it together. And again, having him pace me early was great. And again, got me through the night, pouring down rain, just water crossing after like constantly just being like, oh, we're in ankle deep mud, and then we're walking through knee deep water, and then right back to mud, and
with
right back into water. Just so much trying to keep your feet together was impossible. Like it just blisters, constantly foot being waterlogged. I couldn't get the tape to stay on the foot, so it's just like constant. I get it all taped up, put new socks on, new shoes on, get everything all taped up, and then within an hour, I'm walking through knee deep water again. And it's like all of it's gone. Like all of it, I can just feel it sliding off my foot. And I'm like, this is pointless. And then your feet are just full of mud. It's just full of sand and mud, and you're like, all right, well, this is great. But again, and then eventually got over it. Right, like. It was like, man, this is going to really suck. And then it turned into like, hey, well, everybody is going through the same thing. And it's like, well, just still push yourself. So like, see what happens. And kept pushing, and then ended up coming back around. Like eventually it stopped really hurting. And it was able to like, oh, I can run. And then all of a sudden by like end of day 2 or whatever it was, day 3, it took me 69 hours and some change to finish the race. But the sun came out. Dried out. We hit like a dirt road, and I was like, "Oh man, like I can actually run." And it dried out a little bit, and I was like, "Okay, let's go." Like now, let's race is on, and ended up another buddy that met out there racing. Brody Chisholm, he had some issues early on in the race, so him and I were racing together, and then he got medicaled, and then came back, and I was out of pacers. So like I had two pacers. One paced me early, the next one picked up early, and then he was done. And again, they're wrecked. Like it's waterlogged. Everybody's waterlogged, freezing cold, feet are falling apart, and I still have, whatever, 40, 50, 60 miles to go.
Yeah.
And they're like, my pacers are like, we are done.
Yeah.
This is it for us, bud. And it's like, man. And then I hit up Brody. Brody, again, this is the kind of people that I've met out there, which is awesome. Just people, awesome people in general. He's in the race with me. We're up there in the front. We're running together. I have a problem. He has a medical. He gets medicaled out.
Wow.
For like just a nutrition deficiency thing. Like he just has a bad day. He gets off, eats, sleeps, comes back feeling fine. He's like, dude, I feel great. He's helping out at aid stations. He's doing stuff. So, fast forward, I'm running 2 more days and I'm out of pacers and I'm going to have to do the whole last segment by myself. And my wife reached out to him while I was out there running and was like, hey, I have no more pacers. Like they're out. I have a 60-mile section. Would you want to pace? And he jumped on it. He's like, oh, absolutely. This is a guy I was racing with earlier, the beginning of the race.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's like, absolutely, I'll come race with him. Like,
wow.
Does he want to go? Does he want to catch people? And he's like, yeah, dude, I want to catch back up. I want to see how far I can go, and how hard I can push. And those are the kind of people that are out there. Like, awesome people. And dude, he jumped in with me and we ran the whole last of the race. And I went from, whatever it was, back in the 14th, 15th place to 3rd.
Wow.
Like in the last, 60 miles of that race.
Wow.
And it was great. Like, hey, we were just able to move. Like we were able to continue to run and had great battles, awesome times, awesome experience playing these, these games, turning off our headlamps at night and trying to run with just moonlight so people didn't see that we were trying to catch them, or like we'd passed them and be like, hey, let's shut off our lights so they can't see that they're just right there. Like they're staying within like a half a mile of us for, over, like we cannot shake them. Like we're trying to put in this time and they're just staying right here with us, but they can see our light too. So it's like they can see where we're at. I was like, well, let's shut our lights off and just run in the dark and see if we can get away from them, and like these little games that you can play out there. And it was great. And they had a blast. And then, was able to, pull off something that I didn't no plans of doing that going in there, but then was able to get a low enough time for the cumulative Triple Crown to then end up 2nd. Like I think going into Moab 240, I was in like out of the top 5. And then with the time I got there, put me all the way into 2nd place overall. Wow. So just luck.
That's awesome.
Just by just how it, again, just keep on grinding and keep on moving. Yeah. And it paid off, which was great. It was awesome. And again, met another group of people that have been awesome, that I've, continued to help me on this in my, again, day to day, just getting through struggles and kind of working through things, to then also still pushing myself to try to do more with all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Whether that be ultra marathoning or doing another high rocks, or now looking at trying to get into Ironman stuff. So, it's just been a constant, trying to push to do something. So and we'll see. Like I was supposed to be set up for, I was set up to do the Triple Crown, which I did, and then I was supposed to do Phoenix Ironman after. So it's like a month later. I was set up to do that, and then also Desert City Classic CrossFit comp. Like my last year was supposed to be the Triple Crown at 200s, an Ironman, and a CrossFit competition.
Wow. So a lot of back-to-backs.
A lot of back-to-backs. So all within after the Triple Crown being a whole thing, and then I think 3 weeks. And then it was going to be Arizona Ironman, 3 to 4 weeks. And then I think like a week or so after that, it was going to be the CrossFit Comp. Or it was CrossFit Comp, then Ironman. It was something in those realms, like pretty close together. But again, like things changed. I got done with Moab, came back, started training for Ironman, and then ended up getting hit by a car.
Oh, wow.
So got hit by a car, and then had to
Just
have
training on their bike.
I was riding, yeah. So I was going into training. So I had training the whole week. After so like literally the week after Moab 240.
Yeah.
Came back home, and then I was in training for health and wellness for the fire department that whole week. So it's like I had training that whole week to be at in downtown Gilbert. So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna ride. I'll ride my road bike to training, be in training all day, and I'll ride home, and then maybe at night I can go to the gym and swim.
Right.
Or do something.
Right.
You know, it's like I'm not gonna run right now. I just did a whole bunch of running.
Right.
You know? So I was like, I'm gonna swim and ride.
Yeah. Yeah, because Ironman's got all three of those, so it's a completely different.
Yeah. So I was like, hey, I just did a whole bunch of running all year. Now I'm gonna switch it up. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do weight training. I'm gonna do swimming and riding.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna get back into riding a bike, and it's it. Got a different plan for me at that time. So I started riding. I was like, I'm gonna ride into work. I'm gonna ride in this training class. It's 20 miles one way. I'll be in training all day, and then I'll turn around and ride back. I'll get 40 miles of riding in each day Monday through Friday that this class was, and then I'll swim at night after my kids go to bed.
Yeah.
And that didn't last 25 minutes of Monday morning.
Yeah.
Of when, like, I got everything set up. I was like, all right, got my kids breakfast, did all the stuff I normally do, and then I hopped on my bike, took off, and then within 20 miles, I was in the bike lane, and there's just a kid that was cruising to school, and didn't see me.
Wow.
And hit me going pretty good. And then ended up having to have a shoulder reconstruction, a right shoulder reconstruction, and a left hand reconstruction.
Oh wow! So it really kind of came down hard.
Yeah.
From the crash.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. It did a number. So I have a cable. So they put in a cable to hold base of my arm on, and then they cadaver grafts. They did a clavicle reduction, so they cut the end of my clavicle off, and then they put 3 cadaver grafts to hold my AC joint back together.
Oh wow!
And then I had to have hand surgery to hook these 2 fingers back on. They were like completely detached inside, like the ligaments and tendons that hold my fingers on. And they went in there and reattached all those and hooked those back on. So it's been that was like 4 months ago, almost now.
Oh wow!
About 4 months out.
So you've been recovering this kind of the whole time.
Yeah. No, wow. It's just been surgeries after surgeries, and just recovering and trying to get this thing healed back and back in working order, and then see where it goes from there.
Yeah.
So
How's that recovery been? Has it been pretty hard? Was it pretty good recovery wise, or?
No, I think it's been great. The department has been awesome. My Queen Creek in general, like Queen Creek the town and everybody, they've been awesome helping me out. My work has been awesome. They've been super supportive and getting me through all these surgeries and keeping my job and doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's been incredible. No, I think the surgeries themselves, they've been awesome surgeons. I got no complaints. I got almost full mobility back in my hand.
Oh,
I'm
good.
lacking a little bit on can't fully open my hand. But we're gonna get ready. We're getting here in the next couple weeks to get strength back, to be able to start actually lifting weights or doing strength training with my hand. My shoulder is still a couple months out before they'll release me to actually start lifting weights because of the grafts.
Yeah.
But mobility wise, it's been awesome. I got almost full mobility back in my shoulder.
Yeah.
And then we'll just work through those little things, right? The little being stiff and a little bit of tinge here and there, but for the most part, it's been a great surgeons, and then it's been really good for recovery wise. And again, I think it can things that also ultras help you out, get through the hard times, right? It's like, hey, there's been times where it's like, hey, most of the time I stay pretty active, and that's where I kind of get that extra energy out. It's like, hey, I need to go clear my head, and I never stop. I mean, I think that was one of the times what's helped me out so much at healing now is I just get hey, I couldn't run, I can't run, just with the cable and the grafts just bouncing and stuff takes its toll. But I can go hike, get outside. I have tons now of going hikes with my kids, and when they're on break and stuff like that, we're out exploring and doing that stuff. And it's that's all you got to do. That's what gets that extra energy out, and keeps you focused. So I just kept hiking, get out there, get some sunlight, get some hikes in early in the morning, and then stay active. And it's been healing great. So now we're gonna start adding in some workouts, and been adding in a little bit of running, and we're gonna keep it going. Keep it going, and then again just shift it a little bit. So now, like, hey, now the rest of the last year was off, and then this year is going to be a build up to training, and I'm going to do Cocodona again, and throw down, see what I can do at Cocodona this year.
Yeah. When is that?
So beginning of May.
Okay.
Yeah. So
got a few months.
May. Yeah. So and we're
right back at it.
Hey, we're gonna go after it and have a good time and push ourselves and see where we can end up, and then signed up for we're gonna do another Ironman. I'm gonna find out an Ironman to do this year, and I'll probably end up doing a High Rocks this year.
Awesome.
Like, and then see what happens. Maybe throw in another 100, throw in something. I don't know. Yeah, we'll keep it busy. That's for sure. But
well, that's awesome. That's it. I love the mentality and just with every story. I love how you kind of treat it like its own individual battle that you're gonna overcome and accomplish. And I do have kind of one last question for you, really, especially kind of guide towards younger people trying to figure it out. I know you've worked with a lot of, even in your position with the training academy, and then it sounds like even with wellness and fitness in firefighting as well. In all those battles and all the ultra marathons and just all the competitions, especially on the long race, you talk about those moments where you're, the music and the podcast won't cut it. You got to kind of learn the lessons internally. Yep. What's the biggest lesson or one of the biggest lessons you've learned about yourself and maybe that you could impart to younger people coming up?
I would say, I don't know. I would say take the risk. If you got that, like I said, it's just a feeling of getting out of your comfort zone and doing something that, maybe the people around you aren't saying like, oh no, that's not possible, or I wouldn't do that. And it's like, okay, well, I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
Like step out, try it. Get out of your comfort zone, push yourself. Like I said, the hardest part with like ultra marathons is like, dude, just sign up.
Yeah.
Get on Aravaipa, pick a race that's by you and just sign up for it, and then go out there and see what happens. Like, I think that's the biggest thing is like, don't think you gotta like, hey, I gotta show that I gotta run 100 miles a week for, 5 months before I can even sign up for one of these things. It's like that. Not true. Not true at all. Like, hey, do what you can. I started out with, hey, I'm going to run 1 hour every day.
Right.
And, maybe it's only 4 days or 5 days a week, but I can carve out an hour of my sleep to do that. Like, hey, there's a lot of nights. I have little kids. I have 3 little babies, it's like, some of those times I got 4 hours of sleep, and it's like, I'm going to carve an hour out and still get my run in.
Yeah.
But again, like, that's just kind of having that goal of something on the calendar to keep you driving towards something, to accomplish something.
Yeah.
And then again, like, and that's kind of where I think it's just don't let that inner voice tell you otherwise, right? Like, I kind of just, when those things come in and be like, oh, maybe you should, maybe try it.
Yeah.
Step up. It's like, then do it. Sign up for it. Get out there, push yourself. And see what happens. Every time I've done it, it's maybe grow in some way or form, right? I've learned something, or I've been able to take something out of it. Yeah, some of them are painful. Losing all your toenails isn't great. But one thing I learned is they all grow back.
Yeah.
Like, like, hey, they grow back, and then you end up doing something else crazier, and you lose them again.
Yeah.
But no, it's always been, I've gotten a lot out of these different things. And every single time it's been an incredible experience. And I think it just helps you grow as a human. So I think I'm going to just keep on going and see where it takes me.
Yeah. Well, I love it. Your story, like I said, I got told about you just from a few friends, then looked at your Instagram. I was like, boy, we got to get him on because there's something here. There's a good story. And I love the fight. I love the passion. And I think a lot of people are going to be inspired by it. So I appreciate you coming on.
Hey, dude, I appreciate you reaching out.
Awesome.
It's been awesome.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Sorry you filled that one right at the end.